The Mexico territory, the good old 51st state that can be formed by Hayes after defeating the Rio Pact. Now, I have actually never played this nation myself before, so I just wanted to take this episode to delve deep into the Mexico territory, see what they're all about, and what we can actually do with them. Now, there is no decision like you would normally have when creating a state, for example, like we got when we created the Baja state. So to change over to the Mexico territory, I'm going to have to use a console command. So you can just follow along with me here. I have checked what it is. We're going to go tag space MXT. And there we go. I'm now in control of the Mexico territory. So let's see what we get. So controlled by Cassandra Moore, 2 national spirits, the Mexican administration, so minus 55% political power gain, minus 35% non-core manpower, minus 6% to weekly stability, and damage to garrisons minus 15%. Okay, then we also have support from Shady Sand, so weekly manpower plus 5, war support plus 10%, production efficiency growth plus 10%, and division and reinforce rate, so division attack and reinforce rate plus 5% each. And we will be giving extra trade to our overlord. Okay, start with no advisors, settlement protection, basically all the normal one. Capture every arm is pretty nice. I don't want open to traders. Okay, we might have to change that. We can have a look. What else do we have here? Okay, low stability, average war support. That is an insane amount of manpower. 324,000 manpower, and we have 171 factories, 101 workshops, 16 naval factories, and 54 civilian workshops. Now let's have a look. No intelligence agencies. Events and decisions. Okay, this is all the lands that we have been given. Begin a scavenging program. Okay, nothing new here. Research wise, oh, this is very nice. It seems I have been able to carry over everything that I was able to do before I tagged over. Oh, this is wonderful. Wonderful indeed. Yes, okay. Okay, I just took a moment there to make myself a fresh cup of coffee and set up the Mexican territory the way I want it to be before I carry on. So I have started creating a intelligence agency. I'll show you why just now. For construction, what I have done is I have, in the areas with specific resources, I have just going for maximum so I can get as much resources as I possibly can. As remember, I am on open to traders, which is going through everything going to be a priority of mine to change. For production, you'll notice I still have available military and free dockyards. I've only set up some of them to produce equipment as I am running very low on some resources. So making the best use of about 51 of my factories. I'm also got quite a lot of factories, 10 in total, on basic melee weaponry, and I'll again show that to you just now. For my armies, I retained all the templates that I picked up whilst playing as Hayes in the NCR, so that was quite nice, as well as I have kept all my unlocked doctrines that I have done during that part of the game as well. Now, when Mexican territory was formed, I did take a total of 27 units away from the North American Republic, and I've set them up into 2 divisions. I was only able to get Commander Cassandra Moore as the commanding officer for my army. There are quite a few nice options that I can promote when I get enough command power, but I'll have to wait for that. I did also start off with 650 army experience and 0 naval and 0 air experience as well, which was quite weird. Something that has got to be a bug in the system is when I transfer across my entire navy as well as my entire air force also went across. And I actually, when I saw this, I went back and checked my save game from the end of the last episode, and ship for ship, plane for plane, everything has been given across to the Mexico territory. So in effect that means I have left the new American Republic with no navy and no air force, so the AI is going to have to build that up again. Now you'll see this little icon here just above my cursor saying that I have resistance, and I have a lot of that. Basically 100% everywhere is going down, but I'm now short almost 29,000 pieces of infantry equipment. So that is going to be the primary focus of my operative when I get him, to bring down resistance bit by bit, and why I am producing these crowbars or tire irons over here, because this is the cheapest thing I can make. I've also changed my garrison template to the standard militia one I started the game with. Weirdly enough, this was actually set for mutant occupation, which I obviously cannot use because I don't have super mutants as normal infantry. But now onto the real reason I am here showing you all this, and that is this little focus tree. So looking at it, seems that down the center we have our political tree, on the right we have military, and on the left we have industry and construction. But we have to start here. So the more administration will take 14 days. President Hayes has entrusted me with the important task of pacifying a new territory, and I am grateful to the President for the honor. He can be assured that I will accomplish this task, and I'm going to get a very much needed 100 political power. So with the more administration finished, I have discovered a few things. First of all, I've got my 100 political power. I was considering taking the faithful henchman here to get my compliance growth speed up, but I think with my stability so low, I'm going to go for the oldie but the goodie, and that will be the golden gecko. That will just give me a little bit extra PP gain and plus 5% stability, which I need right now. I also discovered just after starting the clock that I've received a lot of equipment from, I'm not sure where, I'm assuming the NAR somewhere. So this did drop by about 13,000 required infantry equipment, and since I've received 29,000 riot control gear and 1,100 cyber dogs, I'm also going to change my garrison template to the NCR MPs. I hope this works now. Okay, that's already gone away, so that is hopefully good news. So things going a little bit better. I'm going to move on to the next focus. I've got a choice of 3 here. One of them gives me an event, the other 2 gives me some other stats. I'm going to go for the Steel Hand of the Colonel. No description here, purely so I can get just change the stats. So if weekly stability is going to go down from -6% to -1%. It's going to cost me just under 2,000 manpower though, but that's okay. It's going to take me 28 days. Okay, I'm really hoping Steel Handle, the kernel, is going to have some effect, because I'm already down now to 8% of stability, which means once I have a focus going, I'm actually only owning 0.1 of political power each day, which is absolutely terrible. My next focus is going to be the deal maker. Again, there's no description here. I'll add the Master Gunners of Texas, which is going to make my infantry equipment 10% cheaper to produce, give me 10% extra hard and soft attack. Unfortunately, my construction speed is going down by 10%, not to worry about that. But some more is efficiency caps going up by 5%, and the growth factory output is going down by 10%, which actually affects everything. But right now, I really need this 1,500 units of Texan infantry equipment, because there's a lot of fluctuations here. I'm back down to needing 349 pieces of infantry equipment, and something I want to notice is my resources are fluctuating up and down quite a lot as well. I'm having to adjust as I go with that. So I'm hoping Dealmaker will make the difference there. Now I want to go for, I could go for this one here that will give me another boost to war support, construction speed and factory output. Not too worried about that right now. I want to see what this event is here. So the Red Rose of Mexico, again no description, but I'm going to get the event, the Matters of State and Friendship. Now the Followers of the Apocalypse did pay me a visit. I do not like them, so I'm actually going through the process of trying to kick them out of the Mexico territory. So what does Matters of State and Friendship give us? As the first to contact the Moor occupation government for Rosado, the local banter about her betrayal meant nothing, for her cooperation would help her homeland prosper, and she believed Hayes was the right man for it. But one thing Hayes told her kept Rosado on her toes: Brotherhood of Steel. Hayes was a vivid hater of them, and knowing this, Rosado was surprised that he had agreed to work with her, but a recent meeting showed why. Hayes said that he was willing to give more privilege to Rosado and even to give funds for her scientific research, for as it turns out, the president is an extremely intelligent man himself, but the condition was that Rosado's connection to the Alamo be publicly severed, and that thought kept Rosado on his toes. I am willing to betray my friend for the sake of progress. Forgive me, Catherine. So I'll get claims and unlocks territory dispute decisions for the Alamo's chapter core territories. So let's have a look at that. Demand our rightful territories. I'm going to leave that one for a while. Let me sort out something more important. I can get back to that just now. Doesn't seem to be a time limit on this. Yeah, what the hell. Okay. Next one I'm going for is robotic suppressors. No description, but see, all the lands I currently control, resistance can go down by 25%, and compliance is going to go up by 25%, and Rosado will provide us with 10 Protectron divisions, which will actually be quite nice. Alright, I have my robotic suppressors. It is, as the focus says, 10 units of support robots. I'm going to split them nice and evenly between my two divisions, and I will start production of some robots to back them up straight away. The template looks like this. It's the Robots Policiales, and it is a 12 width support robot unit. So I am going to add on some combat robots. Maybe I shouldn't do this right now. Let me start producing some stuff up, or do I have anything in the bank here? Let's have a look. No, I do not. Okay, I'm going to give that a think before I upgrade that template. Don't worry, I will show you what I do with it. I have, as you can see, promoted 2 unit leaders. There are some quite interesting portraits. As you can see, a nice mixture of the normal NCR ones along with some Mexican ones, which is quite nice. And my Intel operative has now been set to work to take out some resistance down here in the south. Everything is dropping nicely thanks to my focuses. So I've got just have them set up here so I can try bring this area down a bit more. Next focus is going to be kick start the industry. Just get my factory output and all that back up. Again, no description. War support plus 5%, which will take me up to 60. Construction speed 9.5. That's alright. This is going to be great. 15% factory output after deal maker. That should take me up to overall stats of what it was before I started is 5% extra, which would be nice to have. So as my industry kick started, I am now going to take this decision here. You can see the lands here are highlighted. I don't know if they're going to give it to me, and even if they do, there's a bit of a blank spot there. Let's see what happens with that. And next focus, which is what I need to actually carry on to the other trees, I believe, is peace in the territories. Again, no description. Base stability goes up by 10%. That's brilliant. Political power gain plus 20% non-core manpower. So this Mexico administration, everything's now actually turning around from being in the red to going to the green. So my weekly stability is actually going to go up 3% per week. So I'm all the way down to 3%. It actually looks like it will be 0 if I didn't have the golden gecko. So that would do world of good for me. And I have also decided to bite the bullet, and I've changed up the robot template here, made a nice 20 with. This is the nice simple one I like to use. I've added on 4 combat robots to really boost the stats here, and I've added a CNC attachment, which you should always add on to a robotics template, just so you can get the most out of the robots you have, which do have a history of having very low organization. So this is boosting it quite nicely. Alright, peace in the territories is having an effect. I am now a mustardy orange color instead of the deep red, and everything is still going down nicely, which is having the effect of giving me more and more resources. So I've been able to increase my production of equipment as I go. Now, I didn't get the Alamo territory back from the NAR. I am not too concerned about that. Next focus I want to take is ruler of Mexico. Another 28-day focus with no description. Simply get 100 political power, and Mexico waits the one who will lead it into the future. Okay, so it's time to choose a new ruler of Mexico. But before I do that, I am going to hire, where did I see it now? Oh yes, the person of community, just so I can boost again my stability by another 5% and get a little bit more political power gain out of the deal, because my stability started to drop down again. Now we have the choice between 3 leaders here. We can either go for Lady of the Bells, which means Rosita will become leader of the Intellectuals Party, and we will be known as the Mexico Technate. We can also go for Who's Laughing Now? So Todd Howitzer would make a reappearance for the elite party and will be known as the Mexican Arms Association. Or what you can do, what I'm going to stick with, we can stick with more. Still no description. The Mexico territory will simply now be known as the Republic of Mexico. And there we have it. I am now the Republic of Mexico. So to continue on with this focus tree, I could either go down this industrial route, which doesn't actually add anything to me because all these research bonuses and money and resources I do not actually need, as well as these last ones giving you either more resources, civilian workshops, arms workshops, or naval dockyards, won't mean anything to me now, as well as this army tree doesn't actually do much that will benefit me at all. I could end up with 4 extra units, some free weapons. I can choose here between either going for free enforcer armor or free light special forces armor. Nothing really affects me there, so I'm actually going to do none of that. And now my final opinion on the Republic of Mexico. Is it worth playing? If you're an experienced player, I don't think so. As you can see, we've gone through this small political tree quite quickly. No real war goals, no real chance of expansion unless you want to go through things manually. And since all our neighbors to the north are our allies, your only 3 options are these 3 little states here. Frankly, I couldn't be bothered. The only time I could maybe recommend this is if you have a friend who's a newer player, wants to get to grip with the game, and you can play it as a co-op, very similar to how you can play Odysseus here if you're playing as Realm of Diana, just to let them fiddle around with the game while they have your protection. And so that's it. The Republic of Mexico. Very short, very sweet, and at the end of the day, just a nice little fun thing that I do actually appreciate the developers for putting in here. And who knows, maybe in the future we can get some more out of this. Once again, thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.